Okay, for people joining this live stream, we are in the late stages of documenting our wonderful new synthetic geometry capabilities for version 12. And where were we at so far? We started from the synthetic geometry guide page, is that correct?
Yeah.
And how much of that had we already gone through?
I think the synthetic geometry guide page was satisfactory by last time.
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, this was pretty decent. Okay. Okay. Okay, so what do we go to next? Have we done the knitting of these functions to each other?
Only some of them.
Okay. Oh, look, there's more abouts that are missing here. Okay. So, okay, geometric okay, so let's just go down this list here. So I think what we want to do here, let me just open up all of these. By the way, my whoever's PMing here, this thing that causes the wrong, I mean, that's basic geometric regions, okay. Geometric, it would be really useful if you'd be able to give me links which would actually open these things.
I'll do that in the future.
Do we know how to? Oh, that's that page. This is geometric special region, so this has not been renamed. That page has not been renamed. Okay. What is derived regions? By the way, do we have Charles here or anybody from the computational geometry group? Because we're going to need them.
Charles is on the invite list.
Okay, can somebody please get Charles?
No, he's here.
He's here. Oh,
You're
sorry,
very...
my microphone was not. I'm here.
Fair enough. Okay. So what we're going to be asking here is how does this have to get knitted into the existing geometric computation stuff?
Right.
Okay, hold on, let's keep going here. We'd already looked at the plane geometry guide page, as I recall.
Yep.
I know we looked at it. I don't know if we finished it.
Okay. Was somebody paying attention and taking notes here, or did we just not do that? Because this time I'm kind of, please make sure somebody who is taking notes about what's happening here.
I'll take notes.
Okay. Okay, because I think this sort of clerical work of opening these things is a little bit of a silly thing for us to be doing. All right, I now have all these pages open. So we're going to go down. Okay, geometric computation. Okay, so did we put stuff in there? Yes, we did. Synthetic geometry is in there. Okay, so let's go back to the page synthetic geometry, and we want to say more about geometric computation. Clearly a worthwhile thing to point to. Okay, so this one is done, right?
Yes.
Okay. And okay, let's go look at plane geometry next. So I believe we had redone this before. Yeah, we'd redone that. Again, yeah, I'm not sure whether we need these things which are clearly not plane geometry. Well, a little odd that we have those there. And what's general geometry? Why do we even have this on this page? Charles, can you speak to that, please? Charles, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. I mean, this page is new to me. Who wrote this page? I have no idea.
No, you wrote this page, didn't you? Who wrote this page?
I mean, the initial page probably for sure. Right, we have that page. All right, so the geometric reasoning was added. I guess this was probably a pretty old page we kept there.
What are you talking about? I'm sorry.
I mean, there's a set of new functions when new pages we added when we released the geometry framework, right? And then there was, some
Which geometry framework?
in version 10 when we did the whole geometry with the new region. Prior to version 10, we had all pages. Like planar geometry was, listing all the 2D graphic primitive, I believe.
Okay, we've got a page about angles and polar coordinates. This does not appear to have our new angle stuff.
Right.
Okay, where should that be on this page? Okay, so what we've got here, we've got all these angle bisectors. We've also got, where is the thing where we compute planar angles? Where is that here?
On your measurements.
Okay, so somewhere here. Okay, so I think we want to say.
Probably right below angle vector.
I don't think so. I think it should be. Oh. No, that's create a vector at a specified angle. Right? That's different from vector angle.
Ah.
Okay. Okay, so is it computing or measuring angles? Specifying angles, computing angles. Okay, so what we have there is for computing angles, we have, now why is vector angle not there? Okay, vector angle will be the most minimal one, right? Isn't that correct?
Yeah.
Angle between vectors.
And vector angle isn't in synthetic geometry because it doesn't really make sense there.
Right.
I actually have support for it. Oh, you mean? Oh, sorry. You mean in the page? Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So planar angle, polygon angle. Those are the two other ones. Oh, and also we're going to have dihedral angle, right?
Yeah, it should be dihedral angles, solid angles, which are the base.
Okay. So do we need to list? Okay. So when we say those two probably want to get listed exactly in this form. Planar angle defined by 3 points, is that right? Is that how we should say it here? Hey, can you stop clicking in our ear, please, whoever's doing that? Is that the right thing to do there?
I think so.
And then can we just list in a single line the dihedral angle and polyhedron angle? Does that make sense? Is that okay, or do we have to say them explicitly? What do you think? Feedback, please.
Well, I mean, since this is kind of the main key page of angles, I think we should probably list them explicitly.
Okay. Okay, what is polyhedron angle and what is dihedral angle?
So the dihedral angle compute the angle between two planes.
Right. (3D)? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Angle between line. What is that one? Angle.
Vertex angle of a polyhedron.
Well, that's per se not really per se correct, right? Because we have also on the edge.
So,
more
so,
general.
so say that again. What should it be?
Sorry, we have a. So I'm just trying to catch back the page we wrote. So that compute the vertex and edge angle for a polyhedron.
So what should it be? Vertex and edge angles?
Yes.
Okay, so now we need to have, let's see, synthetic geometry. Or geometric constructions, actually.
Yeah.
And there we need to have angle bisector.
I think angle bisector is the only one.
Okay, well, I think we also want to say geometric assertion and angle bisector. So let's just put in a single line here. And then
Why geometric assertion?
well, I'm trying to think about things which are. Doesn't it have other stuff with angles? What's the other?
Triangle construct does.
I see. Okay. And this wants to point to the synthetic geometry.
Shouldn't we have angle part here too?
We do. It's higher up on the page.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure that page is completely done. You guys should look at that some more. Please make the note of that. Okay.
Okay.
And let's point that to okay. So what were we looking at there? That was angles and polar coordinates, which was pointed to from. So do we believe plane geometry is finished now as well? Yes, I think that's done now. Okay, let's go on to this geometric. Okay, I'm going to close that page. Angles and polar coordinates, close that page. Okay, now geometric properties and measures.
So I think your initial opinion was that nothing of ours needs to go on this page. Is that final?
Oh, yeah, and by the way, yes, the comma is not correct. Fix the comma, please. There. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this is geometric properties and measures. What about all the stuff with triangles? Triangle. Yeah, we have that there. Triangle center. We have this. This should be fine. Okay. That one is done. Okay. Geometric special regions. That's otherwise known as geometric. Okay, where was that? It's got the wrong name. It's something else that should get fixed. Okay. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this page, what should we add here, Charles?
I don't think there is any constructor we should add here. Maybe circle through, which I will add later on.
Well, why don't we add it now?
Right.
Where are the circles here? Okay, there we go.
Right.
So why don't we just say circle defined by 3 points? Is that right? Make sense?
Yes.
3 or more points. We could just copy the description from the synthetic geometry guide page.
I think it's easier to type it. Okay.
Well, there we have circle through specified points. I think some more after that.
I don't know why that came out as a 12 plus without the red thing. Something else to check. Okay, so there's nothing else on this page that needs to be there. I mean, even all these things like bisectors and so on. I don't understand why you don't have those in here, right? Why isn't there a list of those things here?
I made a
Point to
list
line.
in the knitting notebook of things I think should be added.
I mean, because that page have the basic geometric primitive, which satisfied region Q.
Okay, well, so should these. I mean, isn't a midpoint is a point, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's an operation, it's like we don't put region centroid in this page.
Well, so is SAS triangle is an operation.
It's a constructor.
Right. So is angle bisector then. I don't see
But
that.
it's a fine line, right? You can fill the page with all the stuff you want. So
All right, let's just point this page to the synthetic geometry page. So should we put synthetic geometry here? Or okay, can we consider this page done?
I think so.
Okay. Geometric solvers. Okay. We already have something here. This seems reasonable. That page is done. I wish we kept better notes last time. Sorry, this is not okay, derived regions.
So I don't think anything should go on here. Just want to get a confirmation of that.
Yeah, let's put geometric constructions as a link here. Okay. All right, let us go look at synthetic geometry. Okay, so that one is now done as well. Okay, so let's go now look at the synthetic geometry functions and check whether they have links correctly to other functions. Is that
Sounds good.
okay? So random instance, fine. Now, we've gone through these individual pages, right?
Some of them.
That's not good enough. That's not good enough. We need to know specifically which pages have we gone through, which pages do we still have to go through.
Yeah, and I don't know because we were jumping around so much.
Oh, okay. You guys need to do this work. I'm not going to do this work. Okay. You need to go through and figure out, if necessary, go look at the actual, creation times for pages and so on. Go figure out which pages we still need to look at. Okay.
Okay.
I don't think we've looked at this page.
No, I don't think we have.
Oh, gosh. Is Michael here, by the way?
No.
No, he's traveling.
Who agreed to schedule this meeting when Michael wasn't here?
We tried to have it earlier in the week, but you were busy, and then yesterday morning we couldn't, on short notice we couldn't find Ian. So Michael will be available. When did you say, James? Thursday, Friday, and Monday, and then he's off through Thanksgiving?
Yeah, Thursday, Friday, Monday.
Okay, is Alex here? Okay, so what I'm going to need from you guys, and this will end up having to be probably, I don't know how to fit this in. You guys just need to do an analysis of which pages have been looked at and which have not, because I don't know. Okay?
All right.
Oh, no, this is no good. Come on. I don't think this is going to go well here. I mean, you're basically telling me you have no idea what we've looked at, what we haven't looked at. Did we redo this page or not? You don't know. Anybody got any idea?
We did not.
I don't think we did.
Okay, so that's a no, we didn't.
We did this page.
Did we do this? No, we obviously haven't done this page, have we? I'm not exactly happy here, in case you can't tell. This is not how this should work. Do we not have any project manager involved with this?
We do not.
Okay, that's not supposed to be the way these meetings work.
Well,
I'm here.
yeah.
I'm Carla. I'm a project manager, but I'm not the project manager of this particular project.
Right, Alex just brought on Carla for this meeting, but
Well, there aren't too many of these. I guess I can do this work. Sigh. Okay, we're going to go through these. I believe I've now opened every page that, okay, could you look at this list, please, and tell me if there are any pages that are functions that you guys have created that are not on here.
Perpendicular bisector, angle bisector. Besides random instance and find geometric conjectures.
Okay. All right, we're going to go through every one of these. Sigh. All right, midpoint of a line. Let's start with that. Okay, exactly why this doesn't point to a line. Could you please put yourself on mute if you've got a bunch of background noise? It's the midpoint of the line segment connecting the points P1 and P2. Okay, how are the points specified?
They can be explicit coordinate pairs, or they can be things with the head point.
Okay.
We also this also works for line / multi-line. I think you wanted so.
So what does it do in the case of a line with multiple points in it?
It finds the
Shall I just try it?
Yeah.
So first of all, you're telling me if I say this, for example.
Right.
I assume that's the first example. Whatever.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Right. So if the inputs are coordinates and not points, it'll return coordinates.
Okay. What are you telling me if I put in a third point here? No. What are you telling me here?
If you put in something with headline.
You're right.
Oh, okay. Okay. So this is incorrect then, right? So what happens if I put a line with many points in it?
As long as the line does not intersect itself, it should.
What does it mean to have a midpoint of a line that isn't straight?
It takes the arc length and it finds the point on the line such.
Okay, I get it. Okay. Okay, so this is in fact not correctly documented, right?
The geometry team said that should not be documented until we're able to take midpoints of any one-dimensional region.
Well, let's just say for a line here.
Okay.
Charles, do you want to comment on this?
Well, it depends on how we document it, right? So, I mean, as long as we say that the line have to be explicit head line, that's fine. If it's an arbitrary line, that's not possible.
Okay. Okay. Could you please put yourself on mute, whoever's making that background noise? Okay, so first of all, here, this certainly should be, I guess it should point to mean, but it should also point to point and line, presumably. Okay, all right. In midpoint of P1, P2, the P sub I. Oh, do we say it works in any number of dimensions?
It should.
It does.
Correct.
It does.
The P sub I can be lists of coordinates or explicit point objects.
They can also be symbols, but we don't do anything in that case. That's just how we use it in geometric scene.
Okay, so that's another thing that has to be in the documentation here.
No, it actually, Ian, if there's symbols. Oh, I see. Sorry. The actual points being symbols, not the coordinates being symbols. Yeah.
Midpoint, the result from midpoint gives its result in the same form. Oh, gosh. If the PI are lists of coordinates, midpoint gives a list of coordinates as the result, gives a list of coordinates as a result. If the PI are point objects, it gives a point object. Okay, midpoint of line of P1, P2, ... gives the midpoint, gives the point on the line that is the same distance, the same arc distance. Is that right?
Distance or distance along the line or along the multi-line.
Same arc distance from each end of the line.
Right.
Okay. Okay, now we can say midpoint can be used symbolically, used with symbolic points, unless you have another wording for this, in geometric scene. Is that right?
That's correct.
That sounds good.
So we're going to have to replicate that in other places. Okay, so here, mean, oh boy, mean has an awful lot of stuff. Midpoint, we already put midpoint on that page. Okay, point. Wow, point doesn't get very much. That's really weird that point has so little. Well, should midpoint be on here? Shouldn't other stuff be on here as well?
Is your CVS up to date?
I don't know. Should have been updated today. Did you change that today, Charles?
I think so. I did some knitting this morning, but I can update it. I can replicate it because I'm sure I put random point and other stuff in point.
Do you want me to update or not?
Update. I can fix that. That shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, so you'll put other stuff in there as well.
Yes.
Okay. All right, midpoint is done then. Okay, next. Let's see, what should we do next? How about we do perpendicular bisector? Seems rather straightforward. But that's not correct. It can also have a line in it, right? Correct?
Let me check.
Don't we want to point these things, including midpoint, also at geometric scene? I think we do. Okay, so
Yeah, it does work for a line.
okay, you didn't document it that way. Perpendicular bisector. What does it do in more than 2 dimensions? Does it work?
No, only 2 dimensions.
Okay, so that should be impossible issues, please, here.
All right.
Okay. Okay, so you're saying there's another case here. And what does it do with a multi-line? Does it work with a multi-line or not?
It does not.
Okay, what is it? Okay, so does it would it return an infinite line object even in this case?
It's equivalent to
Yeah.
the first case.
Okay. Okay, do we need to have the jazz about points that we've also put in midpoint here?
I don't think so.
Right.
Why? Doesn't this have the same behavior? Doesn't it have?
Well,
Does
it always returns an infinite line. So
Great.
it allows different inputs, but it still returns the infinite line. So
Okay, great. Okay, angle bisector. By the way, we had some comments on the live stream. I don't know if those people have survived watching us do this horrifying stuff, but somebody's asked, Brian is asking, what's the schedule for updating elementary introduction to Wolfram Language with new functionality in version 12? You know, I haven't even started looking at that. Good point. I should do it. Sander is asking, can we finally get 3D Voronoi using the new polyhedron functionality? Charles, maybe you'd like to comment on that.
No, probably next release.
Okay. What's the spec? Okay, so wait a minute. There's a mistake here. In this, Oh, I really messed that up. In perpendicular bisector of P1, P2, the P sub I can either be lists of coordinates right?
And say in 2D.
I'm not going to comment on that here. I consider it just a bug that it doesn't work in more than 2D. Is it a bug that's going to be fixed?
I'm not sure how it's a bug.
Well, Charles said to only do it for 2D.
Does it not mean anything beyond 2D?
You
It's kind
would,
of hard to see what you mean because you can be anywhere around the line, right?
Right.
In other words, the perpendicular bisector.
it could be a plane, it could be a hyperplane.
Then let's say this for now. But I agree that I don't understand why we wouldn't want to do that eventually for general, to make the plane, basically. So the perpendicular bisector of a line in 3D is a plane.
If we can plan on that in the future.
Seems like that's the right thing to do.
I think I actually have the code for it somewhere, but I don't think
Okay.
we won't.
Charles, is there? I mean, let's not worry about it today. Yeah. I mean, Charles, is there any reason we wouldn't want to do this?
No, it's just all the generalization and the implication of what we need to return. I mean, we needed to do our homework, which was not done for the n dimension. That's why I just asked to stick with the 2D.
Okay, can either be lists of coordinates or explicit point objects, right?
Yep.
The following bisector types. Wait a minute, we have to say what the default is. What's the default?
Interior.
Okay.
I have that in properties and relations, but
No, that's not good enough. You have to say it here.
Okay.
So should we say here that there's the internal bisector? Is that right?
say the bisector of the interior angle at P.
Okay. Okay. Let's just check that this points back to angle bisector. Oh gosh, no, it doesn't. Okay. I think planar angle should point to geometric scene also. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, that's then those. Okay, let's keep going here. Okay, so now we've got circle through. Okay. What does it do if there isn't a circle?
It should return unevaluated
Okay.
with a message.
So circle through gives an explicit, gives when possible an explicit circle object. If there is no way to satisfy the constraints defined by circle through, by a particular circle through, now what about symbolic? Is this normally going to give symbolic values? And I assume circle through only works in 2D.
Right. Right now, it only works in geometric scene.
What do you mean right now? What are you talking about? Surely it does what I just said it does. When possible gives a circle object, right? It does do that, doesn't it?
I don't believe so.
Oh, for goodness sake. Come on, guys. What does it do in that case when it's underdetermined? Okay, let's say. What are you doing here? Why isn't that returning something? Come on, guys. Okay, you need to make that work.
Charles, are you still planning on implementing that, or do you want me to take it?
I will take care of it.
Okay.
Okay, so that's example number 1 here. Should be that. Let's see. Okay. Now we got to say something about overdetermined cases, right? And what about precision in the overdetermined case? Am I making sense? You understand what I'm asking?
Right. I think this is a question for Charles.
I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
Well, if it's overdetermined, and by the way, where should I put circle through and circumsphere? Seems like that should go right after, before line.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm asking if you give these points and they are on a circle, but for some numerical precision, what do you do?
Well, it's where we should probably adjust it based on the machine tolerance or the default tolerance, we currently
I would think
use.
so, yeah, I would think so. Okay, what else should be in this documentation here? By the way, I mean, there are a bunch of things like circle and so on, that probably should have this can be used with symbolic points in blah, blah, blah.
I'll add that.
Okay. Last note, presumably, for a bunch of those things. Please make sure Michael sees those so he can check those. Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. Next we have here, I believe, the triangle functions. Is that right? So triangle center, triangle construct, triangle measurement. Okay. So apparently triangle center, we had not, for some strange reason, defuturized. Okay.
So you're not updating to the most updated version of Triangle Center for some reason.
Oh, for goodness sake. Well, I think you guys really messed up here because, okay, well, I will quit everything here. Okay, I'll go ahead and quit everything.
It's only affecting Triangle Center, it looks like.
So when I do what I'm about to do, I will clobber anything that you put in there in these pages today. Okay, any page that I modified will get clobbered. Let's hope there wasn't too much bad stuff there. Carla, you probably need to take up with Roger why this update didn't happen. And Alex probably should be, I mean...
Okay.
Oh, arguably, I just made the mistake of not updating at the beginning of this meeting, which normally I would do. I think we started this meeting so late, I didn't think to do it. Okay, let's take a look now. Where's point? Oh, we didn't put point in here because it isn't needed. Okay, so you're saying triangle center, you claim. Well, sorry.
That's revision 1.2, and we're currently on 1.20 something.
Well, you've made a mistake because I just updated this. So unless I clobbered what you had, so you better go look and see whether I clobbered what you have.
I feel like this is a recurring issue just with Triangle Center.
And I think it's only on your machine.
What are you talking about?
If I go to cvs.wolfram.com, I see the newer versions. The newer version of that is already in builds.
Well, I just updated this, so I don't know what's going on. Why don't you email your version to me right now?
All right.
I don't know how well this is going to work, but I can try doing something here. Gosh, this is really a mess, guys. I'm sorry. This is really not a good setup. It doesn't consist of, defined by the hypotheses. Did you send this to me? I don't have it.
Working on it.
Okay, listen, we're going to run out of time here. So you guys need to reschedule this. Alex, please figure out when this can be scheduled. It may have to be in an evening, I'm afraid, which I'm not very happy about because I'm trying to work on some other stuff.
Just sent it.
Or Alex, you might see if you can get this in at 4:30 p.m. Is Alex here?
Okay. Yeah, I'm here.
All right, so I have no idea what's going on here. Are the examples also changed and things?
Yeah.
All right, I'll try doing something which I'm not keen on doing. The fact that that beeped is really, really not a good sign. The fact that it's got two of those lines, I think you're going to have to ask. Yeah, see that? You've got a line there that says this was created in October, and I've got a line here that says it was created in January. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
So something got goofed up somewhere here. Why is it beeping? That's really, really a bad sign. You try to delete a cell that is not deletable. Okay, Carla, I think this is for you. You should get Brian. Let me see what happens if I try pushing those. Well, if I try pushing these, I got to be out of them. Okay, so we got to remember for next time, the triangle functions and all the ones up here are what we have to do, right?
Yes.
But let me see what happens if I try pushing that page back. See whether it saves something. That is the weirdest thing. Okay, something is very, very wrong here with that page. Okay, because if you look at this here, I do love the way that there's a spelling mistake in the script. Commiting. Carla, if you could ask Roger to fix that, it would be really good.
Okay.
Anyway, look at this. I'm suspicious about that has messed something up. Okay, so you need to get Brian today to go look at this. Okay, between Brian and Roger, they need to go sort this out.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah,
All
makes
right,
sense.
we should wrap this meeting. Okay, not our best. Needs to be continued. Let's try and make sure we have we get through the rest of it. Lovely functionality though. Wonderful functionality. All right, talk to you all soon.